I keep underestimating the corrosive power of the immigrant lamas of Tibet. I keep thinking that the Trungpa Toku must have some form of a kind concern for the well-being of Western man. Almost everyone I know has excessive optimism about something that they don't understand. As all you have to go on is your own personal experience. You experience day by day various things, various hallucinations and so forth, and you reach a conclusion based upon that. What sort of data is available to the ordinary human being? The various sense faculties, and especially the mind. And through the mind you begin to see how corrosive the lamas really are. The original idea was to work with personal experience in order to comprehend your own situation. But when the Lama injects his personality into the problem, it becomes almost impossible. For instance, in my case, when I was a young grade school and high school student, I studied ballet. Now, with the influence of the Lama, the first conclusion the Lama will reach is that men who study ballet are certainly faggots, and then the Lama will search for the chief faggot, the big status faggot, like John Maynard Keynes or Edward Albee or someone. And then he will say, this fellow is in the slot faggotry. And therefore the Lama will begin to search for a dancer, someone who dances better than him, in order to keep his hierarchy going. Actually, you stupidly went to the Lama and you said, Lama, I'm afraid of the misery of existence. I like to get out of the misery of existence. And suddenly you find out you're under every kind of being on the surface of the earth. You're under all the physicists. You're under all the mathematicians, all the chemists. You're under all the ballroom dancers. And you're under all the faggots all at once. You didn't know that you were stepping into a hierarchical trap. So therefore, if you and especially if you have mental problems, the Lama is just poison. And I think the Lama is actually poison to all of the people in the United States of America. It's hard to believe, but that's what it is. I didn't actually define the flag of Tibetan Buddhism properly. Tibetan Buddhism calls itself the Vajrayana Buddhism, or the short path. And that is the Jnana Buddhism of Sravakayana, Pratikabhutayana, Mahayana, Kriya, Yupa, Yoga, Anuati, and Mahaatiyana. Now, Tibetan Buddhism has a claim which is called the Eight Worldly Dharmas. And the Eight Worldly Dharmas are praise and blame, defamation and eulogy, success and failure, and pleasure and pain. The naive Westerner would say, well, that means that one should evade praise and strive for blame, evade eulogy and strive for defamation, evade pleasure and strive for pain, and evade success and strive for failure. But that's just a label, just a flag. The Tibetans are exercising every effort possible to develop worldly powers in the West. In the process, they drive the innocent Westerner down into the gutter, and there's no way out of the gutter. Due to my contact with Tibetan Buddhism, I experienced roughly a year in jail, 2 years in a mental institution, over 6 months begging on the street, and many low-status jobs, including weeding for little old ladies in Ogden Dunes. I may have spent as much as 20 years weeding for little old ladies in Ogden Dunes, because I remember the Desert Fathers, and the Desert Fathers believe that humble work is fine. Humble work and inner spiritual growth is fine. But that's not the way India and Tibet are treating the total issue. They may just go along and say, yeah, that's tremendous, just be very humble. But they are rising up. They are pushing their way up. And in the process, they're causing mental disease and a degraded lifestyle. I'm trying to present something for a religious orientation, which is quite a simplistic problem to myself. And I don't think many people agree. Well, my position is very simple. The reason for religion is to evade misery after the girl's physical body dies. Most people don't seem to agree that way. They believe that religion is for power and prestige, or to achieve eternal life. Still, I think a great many schizophrenics have no problem with that definition. And if they actually tried some religion, I think they would find that they would have a cosmic oppression by the members of that community in their efforts to rise up above the human race, rather than any kind of salvation from the misery of existence.